Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. I'm my good friend Bob Kudla here, and we're going to tell you guys why Nvidia is going to be moving to Paris very soon. Let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
Bob, the Eiffel Tower is almost built. Well, at least halfway there.
Yeah, so everybody keeps talking. It was funny yesterday because they had the CES. NVIDIA was the keynote speaker, new stuff coming out, all-time highs. And I said it's going to be a sell the news event. They're talking about a $4 trillion company that's larger than the industries that it supports. And it's just getting to a point of ridiculousness. But there's one thing that we know absolutely for certain is that parabolas break down, and they break down about 88% of their move. And I want to throw a chart up. This is not from TradingView. This is also from Twitter. And this is what NVIDIA looks like, guys. Okay, we are at a point of you have to be insane to be accumulating NVIDIA at this point. I mean, think about it. Look at that. And NVIDIA's twice has done this, and they retrace. You see those two other blips? Those are 70-80% retracements in its move higher. This last move is just absolutely insane, uncalled for, and like I said, their market cap is larger than the industries in which it supports. It's larger than most of the countries' GDPs around the world. And so the best way to play this actually is that there is a high dividend product out there called DIPS, which just writes short strangles on NVIDIA, and you get sweet premiums on it. I've been accumulating this now, and I just bought another 1,000 shares again yesterday in anticipation of the news and the sell-off. And if you don't want to do that, you can, obviously write NVIDIA puts, or you can go for NVDS, which is a 1.75 leverage short on NVIDIA. Look for it for these overbought areas. I guess there was an overbought area to trade it. But Phil, even if NVIDIA performs better than expected, if the rest of tech starts to sell off, NVIDIA can't avoid it because they're trapped in the indexes. And so that's going to be a powerful magnet down on NVIDIA for no other reason, which NVIDIA can't control unless NVIDIA can control the stock price of everything else in the index. So look at this to blow up. We call for Palantir to start wiggling. Palantir's now getting really jiggy. Okay, that's another one that's just out of control. And you already saw MicroStrategy already blew up its parabola. Now it's trying to do an echo boom, and that'll play itself out too when Bitcoin tops out for this cycle. So this is one of the reasons why I'm pretty bearish going into 2025. You got to be insane to think that we're just going to get another easy year higher in the markets. I think that the high of the year comes early, like potentially yesterday, and then I think the markets are going to really struggle for the rest of 2025. I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is, like you said, parabolic chart, and I fully expect another massive retracement. In fact, I would not be surprised if we got, never mind 80%. I wouldn't be surprised if it retraced all the way back down to 10. And the reason for that is because we're in a late business cycle, and this is classic blow off top stuff, right? This is .com 2.0. Structurally speaking, if we flip over to like the stock market chart, the S&P 500, you'll notice we're getting on our heat indicator another series of warning bars here, like we got here. Typically you get several before you get more of a structural rollover. COVID, you had one, but that was kind of a weird, black swan event. This is more in line with what you see when markets start to correct. So we're losing steam here. We're getting warnings. I think what happens now is all we're waiting for is a structural shift lower, Bob. So like over here, we took out this low, and you started to shift the structure down 5,700 in that zone, basically this low here. I think that's where you start to then have to look at this high that we put in up here. And I don't know if the high is in yet. We might squirt up here and make another high, but whatever we do up here, once we take this out, 5,700 minus, then I think you have to look at whatever action up here as the top. Because once we get to these technicals coming in, all things being equal, no black swans, nothing else, Fed doesn't come in and start printing like mad, markets are going to roll over. And this Eiffel Tower on NVIDIA is going to come down just as fast as this went up, guys. It's going to come back down. I mean, and you've had examples of this before, and NVIDIA is a very levered stock. It just is. And there's a lot of market cap. They've reverse split, right, a bunch of times. So anyway, this can come down very, very quickly as soon as the liquidity dries up in the markets. And I'm telling you, I think it will. And the only thing that we're waiting for at this point, Bob, that I can see is on the macro data where the jobs numbers start to spike and unemployment starts to spike. And then I think you're going to see the algos flip to from equity buying to bond buying in mass. And we've already seen the bonds are gaining a lot of volume. TLT products, TLT-like products, which is the 20-year ETF, huge volume between $90 and $92. So the big boys have been getting into that trade. They're just waiting. One thing about institutional players, their timing isn't always perfect. Their levels aren't always perfect, but their hit rate is extremely high. So they'll make a lot of money off that 90-92 level as TLT grinds up what I think over the next 12 to 18 months. But were they perfect on timing and were they perfectly at the lows? No, but they were generally, like Bob says a lot of times, you draw in crowns. So if you're at the bottom of the move, somewhere within a couple of percentage points, good enough, because these guys are talking about moving hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in that trade. So I think that's what's basically setting up here. And I'm completely agree with Bob. You're insane to be, unless you're just scalping or very short term in Nvidia, absolutely irresponsible to be allocating long. If you're like a head of a pension fund or something like that, allocating anything to Nvidia at this point is just absolutely suicide in my opinion. So buckle up. It's coming. Now it's just a matter of which week, I think. And that's where we're at now.
Totally agree. Hey guys, come check us out, tradelikeagenius.com. Volatility is the friend of our system. So the more the market flips around, the more opportunities for money that we can make. So check us out. And with that, Phil, I'll let you go. And we'll be back with you guys again either tomorrow or Thursday. Remember, the markets are closed on Thursday. So I think we'll do a video again tomorrow and then skip Thursday in honor of the memorial for President Carter. And we'll be back with you guys on Friday. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Trade Genius.